Hi, I'm Joe Lane and this is the life of a property investor. So here we are back in Sunderland 10 days after we got the keys. So it should have been 17 days, but the vendor or solicitor didn't get paperwork signed and back to us on time, so things got delayed by 1 week. So we've had to get the tenant, she's staying with her sister, so we've had to extend that by a week. And we put the refurb team back by a week, which was a bit frustrating. But we got the rip out done once the paperwork was signed. The electrician's been in and done his first fix, so all the electrics are done in the kitchen, and bits and pieces have been done around the rest of the property, and the plasterers are now in, making everything look tidy, ready for the bathroom and kitchen to be fitted on phase 2. So I'll take you inside. Come this way. Brilliant, so here we are in the dining room, so you can see it's all being stripped out, there's no flooring on the floor, old radiator and stuff still here, the windows and things are all still in place, so in this room here you can literally just see the flooring's been removed, but as you'll move further around the property you'll see all the other work that's been going on. So if we now move into the kitchen, which you probably remember was a bit of a state. So it's being ripped out, and yeah, it's been totally ripped out. The electrician's been in, done his first fix, so we've got all the new plug sockets all been chiseled into the walls. Al and Clint, the plasterers, are here and they're plastering up now, ready for the fit of the kitchen probably in a week's time, so once the plaster's nice and dry. So at the moment it's in the heat wave of the UK, so I think today or tomorrow is supposed to be the hottest day that we've ever had, and certainly up north it's normally a bit chilly, but plasters should dry a fair bit quicker, which is good news. The other issue that we had was there's quite a few mice, so we've we spoke to Rentokil and the council, and then we came round and we baited all the mice. So hopefully that will no longer be a problem, and it definitely shouldn't be a problem later on, which is great news. So move on to the lounge. Just watch the old, what we found as we've sort of gone around the property, some of the floorboards have been rotten, so we've sort of had to take those floorboards out, so there's the old hole in the floor. We're in the lounge, fireplace has been removed, there's that horrible separating wood halfway up the wall, so that's all been bought off. The electrics have been reworked, so they're going to be a lot tidier. And in the alcoves you can probably, there's a light and it's so high up that you couldn't get the light bulb out of the light, so I'm not quite sure how they fitted them, but we've obviously made arrangements so they're going to be wired in a bit lower, which is cool. Radiator's off the wall, and that's about to be ditched, and you can probably tell that the property probably looks a bit worse than it might have done to begin with, but you've got to make it look a lot worse to then make it look good at the end. So that's good. So just going upstairs, you can just see on this wall here we haven't replastered the whole wall, expenses, and it didn't need it, so we've just replastered the middle bit, which was quite broken, and all the bits above and below are good, so we're just going to redecorate those as and when. So we're literally just walking around the house with the plasterers, and the plasterer jumped down the stairs and he's pretty much gone through the flooring because the floorboards at the bottom of the stairs are rotten, so it's very lucky we found that out at this stage, so we can put that right. But yeah, you can just see that I think there might have been woodworm or something in them, so we'll get that put right. Brilliant. Right, upstairs, so let's have a look at the bathroom. The bathroom's been ripped out. You'll be able to see there's some nice retro colours from the past, so I guess when the house was first built, nice turquoise, nice violet, purple, yellow, blue, and then it had plastic sheeting, and then we're going to tile over it, which should be good. We moved into the bathroom, obviously did the rip out, rotten boards at the end of the bath down on the floor, so we'll need to replace those and get those put right. and otherwise ripped out the fan, so there's a good draft coming in through the where the fan was before. Otherwise we're waiting for it all to be plastered, ready for the new bathroom to be fitted, so that will happen. Okay, so we're in bedroom number 1. There's a load of condensation up on the back wall there, so we had quite a good look at the windows, and rather than replacing the windows, what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to look at all the gaskets and replace all of those. We're going to change all the handles, and then we're going to put vents in the top and the bottom, so there's a bit of airflow to stop the condensation and the damp from happening. So we're in bedroom number 2. Not a huge amount's gone on, but we have replastered all the ceilings, so they're now all nice and flat. Before you can probably remember the old texture that was quite popular in the 60s and 70s, and that is now gone. Ready for the decorators to move in next once it's all dried. We're in bedroom number 3, which we'll have the double beds in it, or double bunk beds for the 2 young boys. It was a bit of a nightmare to get into before, so I think what will need to happen is we'll need to change the door, hinge that onto the other side, but then we'll also need to move the light switch up and over the door, so that when you open it, it's just sat there ready for you to go. We also had a horrible box before, which you had to sort of climb over, which came out from here and it went square down, which you also had to clamber over. So we're taking that box out, and then we're going to just reply on a diagonal going down where the stairs are, which will put a lot more room into the room. So. And lastly, we've got the little window up here, which is totally blown, so that will need replacing. It doesn't even close at the moment, so in the winter the 2 little boys had to go and sleep with the mum, and you can see all the condensation and stuff in the middle, so there's no retrieving that, so that'll be a nice new window. The figures for this house, so we bought it for 64,000, and essentially we've done a exchange non-standard delayed completion. So what that means is that you exchange, you put down your 10% deposit, and then you get the keys. And the non-standard bit means that you're then allowed to move into the property, and you're then able to refurb it. And then on completion, you can get bridging finance, and then you can refinance it on the new done up value. So essentially, you're only having to put down 10%. Plus the refurb cost, rather than having to pay 25% plus refurb cost. So that's one way of overcoming, or not having to put so much money down to begin with in your deal. The other way of doing a property like this is to do an assisted sale. So within an assisted sale, you essentially set up a assignable short-term lease option agreement. So you walk into the property, you agree with the vendor that you're paying the £64,000. You then do all your work. Once you pay the vendor an option fee, you do all the work, and you have to reassure him that you're investing X amount in doing the refurb. So you might be spending £15,000–20,000 in doing it. So therefore you're not going to just let the option expire. Then on completion, you assign it to the third party, so the new buyer, so and that's where the assistance comes in, because the new person would not be able to, probably couldn't get the vendor on side to begin with, or might not have connection with the vendor, and then they wouldn't be able to afford to do all the refurb and things, which obviously takes cash in your back pocket. So that's the idea behind the assisted sale. So we'll be looking at one of those 2 options to structure the deal. Brilliant, so that's the house. So we've seen a bit of a delay, so we're now 10 days into the refurb. We've come in, we stripped it all out, done the electrics, mostly got there on the plastering, a bit more to go. Plastering in the kitchen, once that's done, we'll get the kitchen fitted. We'll then get the bathroom fitted, we'll then get it all decorated and get the flooring done, and then ready for the tenant to move back in the beginning of August. So tight timelines, but I think we're on track.